You guys, I'm sure that you've noticed the fact that every generation has voluntarily retarded itself. And when I use the R word, I never mean to include people that are actually like mentally challenged, okay, by no choice of their own. All right? I'm never talking about those people. So please do not take it that way. I'm talking about the majority of society that has voluntarily retarded itself through technology. And I go to church with this dude who has 3 daughters. And one of them is like blatantly autistic. And I say that because a lot of people say they're autistic, but really they're just addicted to their phone. Okay? This girl literally has to have a smartphone in her face all the time. Like she's always on her phone. Okay? I see kids that come into the restaurant where I work and they have the headphones. I see adults, grown-ass people with these big-ass headphones. Okay? Now, I'm sure that I'm going to get accused of like not being understanding and being insensitive about this issue. But once again, like this is voluntary, okay? Like this is a culture that people have chosen. And it's not just because they don't question it. It's not just because they're susceptible. Okay? I realize a lot of things factor into all of this. I think that it's an existential crisis that a lot of people have. They just don't know how to exist. Like, look at what I'm doing right here, right now, baby. I'm just fucking sitting here, okay? Sitting here in my car, just hanging out, okay? Nothing has to be going on. I don't have to be watching anything. I don't have to be listening to anything. Hold on. Let's listen to the birdies. Let's listen to the birdies chirp, chirp, chirp. I don't understand people that need to be stimulated. I get that people are bored, especially if they're in a relationship. God forbid. I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know why y'all do it other than, to have sex. I'm not into sex, so I don't have that problem. So I can't relate to it. But I know that it's an important thing for a lot of people that exist. But, it's not a necessity, though. I don't care what anybody says. Nobody has to have sex. Animals have sex to further their species. That's, the only reason they do it. Aside from dolphins that actually have sex for pleasure. But the fact that we're not even fucking to further our species. We kill off our species. We make excuses as to why our species shouldn't continue to exist. And then part of our species that actually does still exist, we medicate and we stick with all kinds of shit. I mean, I think about animals. I think about all these animals that are given all kinds of, hormonal stuff. And they're just tortured. Every day of their life, they're fucking tortured. And I think that has a lot to do with, why we as a society are so messed up, because we eat that shit, And we don't even think about that. We don't think about the whole process of, what happened to this chicken, or what happened to this pig, or what happened to this cow. We just fucking eat it like it ain't shit, and that's fucked up. And I don't think that America is just so bad because of the food industry. I think that America just capitalizes on all these things that will turn the population into a bunch of guinea pigs, And so, is it really a surprise that people are autistic? Is it really a surprise that people are depressed? Or people are anxious all the time? People are having panic attacks? Because I look around me and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty bad out here. And the fact that this still exists, the fact that you can still just fucking walk outside and experience all this shit, you know? This is still here, baby. This is still here. But people don't know, they don't care. And then they want to act like they have no choice. They have no choice. They have to keep scrolling. Dude, everything is turning people into slot machines. So you got TikTok, obviously TikTok, and then the Instagram shorts, YouTube shorts, or the Instagram stories rather, my bad. And now they even do it with the news. So every feed is designed to like make you think you're in fucking Vegas. And you're just staring at a slot machine looking at those fucking fruit, you know? You know, my mom's a boomer. And I've noticed that, you know, a lot of people are mentioning this. Like, yeah, the boomers are, like, so addicted to their phones now. Well, yeah. It was only a matter of time before it would get to them the same way it gets to the Zoomers. It's funny that they complain about each other all the time, but y'all are the same. You just go along with things that you're told to go along with. It doesn't matter how bad they are for your well-being. You just go along with it. And then you make excuses for it, and anybody that doesn't go along with it is an outcast and a piece of shit and selfish and, you know. But yeah, it's like, I told my mom, I sent her a message about my friend Kimberly's dog, and I said, yeah, I gotta go out to Fairview to help her put her dog down. And she sends me a fucking emoji, like fucking sad emoji with like the tears or whatever the fuck. And like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, people don't know how to use words anymore. That's the whole purpose of these hieroglyphics. That's the whole purpose of, you know, dumbing people down so that they can't even express human emotions. And I've noticed this about her, that she's just like, she acts more and more robotic like every single time I see her. You know, my dad doesn't though. And you know, my dad took those shots. He is so pro pharmaceuticals, it's not even funny. But the thing is though, he's not hooked on technology. He doesn't like technology either. He's like me. He has a flip phone. He hardly ever uses his flip phone. He doesn't take it with him anywhere he goes because he doesn't want to go along with it. That's one of the reasons why I started talking to him again, because I realized that we're way more alike. Like, just because we disagree on most things, we both have the same kind of perspective on our lifestyle, you know? The problem is when you convince people that if they don't go along with something, they're wrong. If they don't go along with something, they're like immoral, you know? And that is how people treat it, you know? If you don't do what everyone else does, they treat you like you're fucking vermin. And then they want to say, oh, we love different. We love different. Really? I think you just love it when ugly ass dudes think that they're women.
ugly ass dudes that can't accept the fact that they're not attractive and they're not getting laid. And so they just say, oh, I'm just a female. Well, if you think about it though, it kind of makes sense because the mindset's similar. I have a friend of mine, Kim and I used to work with him. He always acted like a woman because he was always whining like a woman, playing the victim like a woman, taking it personally like a woman. So it's no surprise that suddenly he thinks he's trans. But this dude is not very attractive, overweight. Now he looks even worse. Like, it's just crazy. It's like all that surgery too. So it's not just like ugly ass people that think they're the other gender. It's like people that they don't need to get work done on them, but they do because they're not confident. They're insecure people. And now they look like drag queens because they've got all this work done on them. I shouldn't even say that because drag queens used to be beautiful. Not anymore. Not anymore, dude. Drag queens used to be homosexual men that occasionally dressed up like women, and it was an actual art form that was at a gay club. So adult entertainment. They weren't trying to take that shit out into the street and do it in front of kids. Like, I don't have a problem with people doing degenerate stuff as long as there's a place to do that degenerate stuff. A lot of people have an issue with that, but I'm an artist and you can kiss my ass. Okay? People have to have a place where they can express themselves freely. And if they don't, it's just going to be taken out into the culture. You'll see what you will see what you're seeing now. I get really excited when I talk, don't I? Damn. She is really late. How am I here before her? It's okay though. I'm not mad about it. It's just funny. But yeah, like, it's just sad to me what people choose. And it's like, you could just admit that you're insecure. You could just admit that you have an issue with yourself. You know? I mean, that's why I drank a lot. Because there was just so much shit I was dealing with mentally and psychologically that it just made sense to drink and drink and drink and drink and drink. But, you know, when I got over that and, you know, just experiencing the consequences of my actions, like, I wanted to kill myself, especially the first 90 days of my sobriety. I wanted to kill myself every single day. I was planning my suicide, man. And so the fact that I went through that, didn't do anything drastic, but I just experienced that. I allowed myself to experience that self-loathing and that anger. And that's not at the world, but at myself. Because I knew that I did it to myself. I knew that I was wrong. And so the fact that I went through that miserable experience, I think is a testament to the faith that I have, number one. But it's a real testament to the confidence that I have. And like, I know that, like, whatever I'm dealing with, I've been through way worse. So it ain't no big whoop, whatever it is. Like when I get stressed out at work, or somebody pisses me off, or some shit happens, it's like, dude, like, I was a raging alcoholic, and I went through alcohol withdrawals, and I woke up in urine, and, you know, I did all these horrible things. So it's like, if I can go through all that and still be alive to tell you about it, that's just amazing. So it's like, why would I even be the slightest bit concerned about anything going on You know, because I know that, like, I've already been through the ringer. But, yeah, it's like we live in a society of people that don't want to deal with anything. They don't want to face anything. And, you know, it just occurred to me, like, when I was saying this, to myself, I was thinking, like, you know, maybe people don't know that they're insecure, Amy. Like, they don't have self-awareness, so that's why they're turning to all these things to fill some sort of void. And so people that think that they're this identity, you know, just like I drank, but like replace addiction with this obsession with self, this obsession with doing things to hurt oneself. And, you know, if you try to tell somebody, like, yeah, what you're doing is going to kill you, what you're doing is going to make you kill yourself eventually, you know, they're not going to believe you because they want to continue that lifestyle. And it's the same thing when I was an alcoholic. So I think that I understand it a lot better than most people, but I mean, I understand it enough to, like, not get mad that people do that to themselves. I do get mad that pharmaceutical companies exist and sheep just go along with any stupid thing, because it's really the problem with the sheep that just agree to it and are like, oh, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. You want to chop your tits off, Allison. That's totally fine. That's normal, you know? Normal women want to chop their tits off. I mean, at this point, it is normal.